DJ, PK, and Brian Taylor joins us. Real Golf Radio co-host at the PGA Championship, Quail Hollow. Brian, good morning.
Morning, boys. How are we?
Good. You getting ferried around the course in a cart? They taking care of you?
No, I don't quite have the same pole that I had down there at Black Desert. Sorry about that, man. I wasn't feeling very well that day, so otherwise I would have stopped and walked and chatted with you, but I didn't want to be around you, so trying to lay low.
Yeah.
No, I felt fine, and I saw him down there, and I still didn't want to be around him.
I just was like, I'm sure he's like, hey, good to see you. And then the next thing I pass him in a cart, like waving at him.
I'm hiking up the hill. He's steaming up the hill.
Carrying batteries and waters and all stuff for his cameraman. And I'm just like out there on a leisurely stroll. No, I get the optics of it. I felt bad.
Yeah, well, no, the optics of PK were me following the photographer, the 10th hole. And PK's up there on the balcony with all the high rollers and the luxury suite thing that they put up there. And he's waving at people like he's the new pope coming out greeting the masses.
Is that what you've been calling me, Leo, this
the
week?
Basilica. Yeah, that is. So I've been calling DJ and Leo.
I was hobnobbing with the owners of Reef Capital. I consider myself having spent a very productive weekend down in St. George a couple weeks ago.
I love that for you. Let's do it more often.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think of
that? Was pretty cool, though.
Yeah, absolutely, man. LPGA. I watched the gal make the albatross. She dropped one in from 212 on 18. And
you ever made an albatross?
No, heck no.
Yeah, me neither. Bob has.
Last week in my men's league, and the guys keep joking. We play from the whites as seniors, and I was in 2 on a par 5, and then promptly 4-putted.
Wow! Ouch! I mean, I would consider the 3-putt par to be one of the more egregious things, but the 4-putt bogey—that's even worse. Yeah, wow.
I know.
Was it a big green? Did you have like 130 feet or something on the first putt?
I smoked, for me anyway, a 3-wood, so I was way long.
Mm-hmm.
And it was probably 40 feet, and I probably hit. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was like 20 feet behind, and that was a sucky putt. The second putt I thought was a decent putt, and it rolled about 6-7 feet past. And then you know how sometimes when you're putting, your putter will hit the green, so you sort of scuff it, and it doesn't go anywhere. That's what happened. So. I was 2 over we only play 9. I was 2 over on the thing, but and one of them was a 4-putt par 5.
Dang.
So anyway, that's golf.
A little lack of concentration there, PK. Hey, speaking of albatross, though, how about Max Homa nearly made one hole in one on a par 4? That was pretty impressive on the 14th hole today. That was pretty cool.
Move, isn't he?
He's making him out to about 2 feet, knocks it in for eagle. I mean, that's pretty good stuff. You know what I love about golf is just what you're talking about, right? One day you're 4-putting. Max has basically been 4-putting his way through this season, and all of a sudden he seems to have found something. And it's hard, isn't it? I mean, golf is hard, and it's kind of cool. Like we watched McIlroy overcome all the demons at the Masters. Not that we felt bad for him, like his game was out of sorts. It was just a tough thing to do. And then to see Homa, who's just kind of gone from Ryder Cup hero and contender and winner on the PGA Tour to obscurity, and now he's bouncing his way back and having a day. So here's hoping he has a weekend. And Tony Finau the same way, right? I mean, I think Tony could use that a little bit. I'd love to see Tony have a nice day today. We visited with him yesterday after his round, and he seems pretty determined. He wasn't really there for the experience. Like he knows he's got some things he needs to do and prove, and we'll see. I thought his ball striking was much better yesterday as the round went on.
Colin Morikawa was making a move this morning, and then a double bogey at 18. We're seeing a lot of double bogeys. You have a theory on why so many double bogeys?
Well, I think that's the nature of this golf course. And by the way, if I'm not mistaken, he made double bogey on 18 yesterday as well, and he really tried to pull off a dumb shot that led to that. And there's a lot of criticism about this golf course with the mud balls and with the, Hunter Mayhem called it a soulless golf course. The Kardashian comparison continues to raise its head. But, I think what I'm taking away from this is these guys are wanting to hit the perfect shot every time, not really wanting to get their clubs too dirty. And you kind of have to around here, especially if you get out of position. And so I was a little surprised that some of these guys haven't just taken their medicine, put it where they needed to, make their bogey and move on and eliminate the double bogeys. I think they're just determined to hit the great shot every single time. And that's kind of the nature of it. I think with the soft golf course, also, I think it gave all of us the idea that everyone is just going to go boat race this thing, right? We're going to see 20, 21 under. The difference being that the greens were able to, with that sub-air system, were able to maintain their firmness. And so guys were coming off, talked to Tony about it, talked to Patrick Fishburne about it. It's this weird feeling of soft underfoot, but then watching it bounce like a concrete up on the greens. And so a lot of guys going long, short-siding themselves, that kind of thing. So I think the golf course surprised a lot of people yesterday in how difficult it played. And I think there's going to be some adjustments made. I'm surprised Morikawa doubled but I mean, 18th is a long hole. It's 500 yards. It's uphill. It's got water down one side. It's got bunkers strategically placed in the other. So yeah, you get a little too after it, and you're going to get in trouble on that hole.
I think what Scheffler was complaining about is if you hit it where you want to, and then it's all sloppy when you get there. And so he's talking about, well, let's make an adjustment in this situation if you hit it where you want to. I can understand his point, but the rules are applying for everyone, so it should all to flush out.
This one's a tough one because it kind of is the same thing as divot in the fairway. And I've been pretty vocal about the fact that I think you got to have relief if you're in a divot in the fairway.
I agree 100%.
And, I mean, here's the thing. People say, well, it's rub of the green. Golf should just be played. Sometimes you get good bounces when you hit. Sometimes you get bad breaks when you hit good shots. You get good breaks when you hit bad shots. It happens. Look at Black Desert. How many guys hit a bad drive, it goes in the lava, and bounces straight across into the fairway? So people that would argue that you should get relief from the divot would also be saying, well, if you hit it in the lava and it bounced back in the fairway, should you have to go back and put it in the lava? And see, and I guess I see their point, but when you hit it, what Scotty's saying, when you hit it exactly where you're supposed to hit it and you get penalized and it costs you a couple shots, that doesn't seem equitable because the ball not everybody's golf ball picks up mud equally in the same spot, right? And so I think that's what he's trying to say.
I get it.
Is there going to be more bad weather, or is this course going to dry out and we're going to have less of this in the everything will kind of flush out here over the weekend?
I think there's a chance of some showers coming in tomorrow morning, but otherwise it's supposed to be pretty good. I don't think it's severe like it has been leading into the tournament. There's a little bit of breeze, and the sun has been really bright, so it's amazing how much the golf course has dried out. Even just watching this morning from yesterday, balls are rolling out in the fairway a little better than they were yesterday. So I think the golf course is going to be okay. I'm hoping we don't take on too much more water, but here you see Homa making a move. I think we just need to see some guys come out today. I mean, that leaderboard, sorry, but if you're like the PGA of America trying to sell everybody on this weekend, that's not exactly the leaderboard you were hoping for, right? So, I also kind of blame it on the pairing. Whenever we see 1, 2, and 3 in the world get paired together, I go back to Torrey Pines when it was Tiger, Phil, and Adam Scott. I mean, it wasn't good, right? I mean, Tiger didn't end up going on to win, but that pairing was kind of a debacle. So I think back on Tiger and Phil getting paired at the Ryder Cup. I don't know if I like that pairing. That 1, 2, 3 pairing just seems to, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they'll go out and shoot fireworks today and change my mind.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can roll down to like tied for 24th or something. There's a couple of big names, but I mean, they hit a bonanza in the Masters with TV ratings, and this thing might be in the toilet if it continues.
Yeah, I hate to say it that way, right? But, I mean, I think this is where the proponents of limited field events and no-cut events, I think this is where they're coming from when they're saying, hey, look, as sponsors, we spend a lot of money, to have the best players in the world here, and we don't want them to miss the cut and be gone for the weekend. Not to take anything away from, the Gerards and the Vegases and all these kind of guys, but they don't exactly move the needle. That said, I mean, I love it for Johnny Vegas. If Johnny Vegas Ryan Gerard, one of these guys, if they get hot this week and they win the PGA, good for them, right? Like, that's, to me, I love the idea that, it doesn't matter what your resume is coming in. You play the best that week and you're a major champion, you can change your life. I actually love that about golf, and so I don't want that to go away. But it is a little tough to sell the, hey, look at this leaderboard. You should definitely not play golf Saturday and stay home and watch this.
So what you're saying is get invited, no cuts. It's about time you're endorsing the Live.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you trying to go there. You know how I feel about that.
And it was awesome. In the middle of your answer, he sat up straighter, head perked up, and there's no doubt in my mind, here comes a live remark.
Well, it's just he just described the Live right there, the Live Tour. That's what
what they're trying to do.
I knew deep down he was appreciating it. He just can't say it because Casper's always running his mouth.
Yeah, I've been beholden to Bob for 25 years now. I can't say anything that I have my own opinion. So,
the PGA does tend to have this happen more often. I mean, you can't have a career slam for Rory without Rory winning a PGA. So it doesn't always happen at the PGA, but it does seem like we have more one-time major winners. Somebody who is living around, 50 or 75 on the money list, who comes out and wins this. You got any theory on why?
Yeah, we talked about this coming in, and I was actually surprised to learn, if you go back, at least in recent history, what you're saying is true. You're looking at Sean McKeel, Rich Beam, even
we're
Phil
going back for
Mickelson.
those names. We're going back.
Yeah.
The last decade, it's been more of a 50-50 proposition.
It's even been a little better than that. At least according to the stat that I saw, since 2015 and Jordan Spieth's Masters win, the last one to win a major outside the top 50 was Phil when he was almost 51 years old. So it has kind of lent itself to the top 50 in the world. But I hear what you're saying, and I don't know why that is. The PGA of all the majors feels like it struggles a little bit with what is its identity, right? What is it that makes the PGA unique? And in some of the criticism is that it looks a lot like a regular PGA Tour event. And some suggest that in order to help thwart that, you shouldn't play it at a golf course that regularly hosts a PGA Tour event. So, I don't know about that. I think Quail Hall is a fine test. It's unfortunate that the weather got him how it was. Otherwise, they'd be playing firm and fast and tough. And I think Justin Thomas won at 7-8 under par back in 2017 in August when it was that way. So, but yeah, the Masters. The Masters has it down. Like that recipe is baked. Like they have got that figured out. It's going to be drama. It's a limited field, great golf course. Everybody loves it. And, and the U.S. Open is just going to be hard. You're just going to see train wrecks. That's just their identity. And then the Open Championship is links golf, which is awesome to see, and the PGA is like somewhere, where is it? And yet when you look back on it, there's been some amazing finishes, some great drama, over the years. And so every time I want to discount the PGA, the weekend tends to deliver. So we'll see what happens this weekend.
We appreciate the time, Brian. You're the man. You can go back out to riding around in golf carts and looking down on the little people.
They don't, not only, excuse me, sorry about the voice. Not only do they not give us golf carts, we don't even get inside the rope lanyard. So we're just amongst the people. We're the PKs of the week out here at the PGA.
Disrespected once again.
No, man of the people. Isn't that the highest? Isn't that what you would say? Even the Pope's a man of the people, right? He's out there.
Yeah, all I know is he was hobnobbing with the billionaires. That's all I know.
Right, there you go.
Well, they asked me to come up there. What am I going to do? Tell them no?
Come on, PK. They were hobnobbing with you. Let's get it straight.
That actually, there's probably a little bit of that going on. Because before they were billionaires, they listened to DJ and PK. So that worked. On their way up.
And they were inspired.
Maybe. Yeah, I probably just helped them kill 20 minutes getting to work. That's more our role in life here, Brian. All right,
you guys do it well.
We appreciate it, Brian. Enjoy the weekend,
right.
And the show's tomorrow morning, and we will talk to you again down the road.
You got it. Thanks, boys.
Brian Taylor, Real Golfer Radio. He and Bob Casper are live tomorrow morning, right here on The Zone. All right, DJ and PK, when we come back, everything you missed in this show, including the NBA playoffs, stay with us.
Hey, bro. You hear us every day with our crazy opinions.
Hey, what you doing?
Well, now, it's time to hear from you.
Hey, great show.
Download the KSL Sports app and fire off your thoughts with the call-in tab on the bottom of your screen.
This show is fantastic. It's the one that captivates me the most.
You can tell PK to stop singing.
She bangs!
Let Jake and Ben know what you really think of the Jazz.
Woo!
Tell Hans and Scotty about your favorite barbecue spot or what color of tie JJ should be wearing on TV. The best entries will be played on the air. Download the KSL Sports app now and hit the call-in button to let your voice be heard.
I think you guys do an incredible job.
This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
9 a.m. Slacker Radio headlines brought to you by Trajan Wealth. Call Trajan today, your local trusted financial fiduciary, Trajan Wealth, 801-899-7600, or visit their website at trajanwealth.com.
Oh, yeah. Initial consultation complimentary. I mean, the fiduciary advisors of those folks, man, I'm telling you, they really rock your world.
Things we've been talking about this morning. David Locke came on. All sorts of amped up over the draft. He loves himself the draft. Still narrowing down what to do at number 5. Not sure how to fix the problem that, quite honestly, can't be fixed. And if everyone's making this much money, is it that big a problem?
Well, the league doesn't view it as a problem, apparently.
Then why'd they find him?
We do, because we're here. I think the problem is if you're trying to eliminate tanking, that becomes a perpetual needle in a haystack thing. I don't know that you can do it.
One player is so valuable for so many years. If you get the right one, it's worth losing some games. And how many games did the Jazz lose this year on purpose? 10, 15, 20?
Oh, I would
Certainly
say,
10.
I would say
they could have
60.
Okay, they weren't going to win 75 games. I mean, some of those games they just got beat.
Right, but they still lost on purpose.
I don't think it's 60.
I do. I think they set out. They knew what it took. It's not by accident.
They did know what it takes. They definitely set out to do it, and some nights they accomplished it. That was a very winnable game.
More often than not.
We dodged one right there. Dodged a W.
I think the question is how many games did they want to win? Very, very few. 15 maybe.
They were fine with winning 15.
They knew what the results needed to be.
Yep.
You know what the results need to be virtually every year. There's a pattern. If you have this amount of wins and this amount of losses, you will finish in this spot. So I would say darn near every one of them.
You go listen to David Locke wherever you get your podcasts. Everything's posted, all the the show hour by hour, and all the interviews individually.
I think the most important thing to take from all this, you can't change what you can't change, obviously. So you draft in 5th, and the most important thing is that you have the opportunity to get a high-quality player. In the end, that's really all that matters.
And who is that high-quality player?
Yeah, and obviously Flagg is the kingpin there,
yeah.
but, I mean, that's over with. So you can't worry about that now. Now you got to worry about getting yourself a quality player, and I see no reason why they don't get a quality player. They may not get the highest quality player, probably not. All right, that didn't work your way.
The reason to tank this year is that there were a lot of good prospects available. So go get one and help them develop.
I believe that they can do that and possibly even get 2.
Aha, the 21st pick. Need the diamond in the rough.
If they draft at 21st.
Right. Maybe they move up. Maybe there's somebody that's committed to it 13 or 10 or whatever.
Yeah. All the stuff that they had at their disposal, they still have.
So many draft picks. Do you want the Jazz to make a move to get Igor Demon? That is the question of the morning. Many people are weighing in on that. We talked about Demon and his size, all the measurables. You were pointing out that you pointed out a long time ago he's going to interview well. So this time of year, he ought to be crushing it and moving up in the mock drafts.
Right.
Look and see where he is today, then look and see where he is, 3 weeks from now.
Yeah. He blows you away with his life experience. He's a teenager. Which language would you like me to speak?
Maturity matters, though.
There's no question.
To how you interact with older people, right? You're going to be playing with veterans who are 10, 15 years older than you. How you're going to handle the money, how you're going to handle the fame, how you're going to handle all the travel.
Just the attention that he's,
Bound
I
to get.
assume, had in Europe that he had here, without question he had here. And the way he gave his press conference when he was leaving was full of humility. You have to be impressed with the kid. to be this far away from home, and any comfort that you've ever had is long since gone. He's comfortable in the uncomfortable.
Well, that's what you get leaving home and moving halfway around the world.
Right, and
that's good because the NBA is going to make you uncomfortable. It's not a normal lifestyle.
He's going to go. Who knows where he's going to go? We have no idea where he's going to go.
Nope.
But unless it's here, he's going to go to a place where he hadn't spent a whole lot of time. And so that shouldn't be an issue. He has the ability to adapt. We've already seen that. And we're asking for the minimum of effectiveness in shooting. We're not asking for just a dead-eye Jeff Hornacek type of player.
Just got to keep him honest.
Yeah, because you can do all those other things. If the Jazz had an opportunity to get him, man, I would be 100% on board.
The Denver Nuggets win Game 6. You got a Game 7. You ready? Sunday, 1:30. ABC's got it. Game 7. Nuggets, Thunder.
Yeah.
Feel the tension, the drama.
Oh, I intend to watch the game.
Denver's bench was much better at home in Game 6 than they had been throughout the series. Can they do it again? Also, Christian Brown came out with a big game.
Yeah, anything can happen in a singular. We say anything can happen in a Game 7, but really anything can happen in a singular game in the postseason. You can have, look at Indiana over Cleveland when Cleveland had its guys. They had a 40-point lead at halftime. That stuff doesn't happen. It literally had never happened before, and so that's why coaches just have their stomach turning. They are just full of agita between now and Sunday because who knows who's hot, who isn't. We saw BYU, the one kid for Alabama, just lighten it up, and then the next game, not so much.
It happens. Now, for all the people complaining last weekend, the quick turnaround from an overtime game Friday to a Sunday afternoon game, this is Thursday to Sunday, so there's plenty of time. The Game 7, we ought to see their best stuff.
Oh, yeah. The traveling charter in Denver to Oklahoma City is not much.
Not that far. Shouldn't see a 17-8 first quarter again.
I wouldn't think so.
Game 6 tonight, Knicks and Celtics. If New York wins, they're on to the conference final. If Boston wins, it's back to Boston for Game 7 Monday night. So there are the stakes at MSG, the arena of your youth.
I wouldn't mind seeing a Game 7, but it'd be kind of fun to have the Knicks do it. New York, when that thing gets going, man, and we've all seen it. If you haven't been there, you still seen it. You know what it's about. That is an awesome place to go for sure, obviously. We talked to Pablo Mastroeni. He came on to talk about this weekend's game with Colorado. They're defending better. Where are they going to find the goals? They're hoping Agata is the guy, that he can finish. I think Agata DeVita can be the guy. And then you got Go, Go, Gozo. They can have a field day with that kid's name. There goes Gozo. Go, Go, Gozo. Go, 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 Gozo. That was pretty good. I know you know it. Because it was. I can feel it in my soul. Yes. It was awesome. And you are much like the Kardashians. You're soulless. That was an awesome line by Hunter Mahan. I just cannot congratulate him enough. How often do PGA golfers rip off quotable lines and all that? Seems like it's like the driving a golf ball. Down the middle. Get up there, do your 5 or 10 minutes, get out of there. Yeah. They may not be the most glib people. Yeah. John Daly would drop a line here or there, but on the whole. But that was good work by Hunter Mahan. You got the PGA Championship on over there? Anything good happening? Anybody making a move here? It seems like we're getting guys stringing pars together now here the last hour or so. It actually logged me out. What?
I can tell you right now, Jonathan Vegas still 7 under, so you got that stroke back. JJ Spawn 5 under. Matthew Pavon, Gerard all at 5 under as well. I like that. One back at 4 under.
I can tell you right now.
Right now.
There's nothing more permanent and evident.
I just have it up on the TV.
Than right now. I'm going to go home and watch it.
Get locked into the second round.
I'll just see what's up, man.
A lot of players. They were golfing all day long yesterday. That was awesome. Felt a little bit like the British Open. You get over there for the Open Championship, and they'll give you 14, 15 hours of golf. Just keep going.
I like DeChambeau yesterday. Hit a 7-iron, 230 yards.
Over water.
He's an animal. He just is, man.
He is. And he knows it.
Yeah, it was like
But
2
the way
inches
he
from the
holds
hole
his
in one.
arms when he putts, doesn't it feel...
It looks awkward. It
Yeah.
looks like you'd be stiff.
Stiff and
And
awkward. Those are
rigid.
2 words. Yeah.
But
I did see that shot as 7-iron, 223 yards, got to carry the water. Bang!
yeah, it was like a half an inch, 2 inches away from a hole in one.
Yep, very close. All right, anything else we talked about with the people today? Just had Brian Taylor on. If you want a little PGA, you can go back and listen to that.
A beautiful sports weekend here at a time of year that we need it.
A little basketball, a little hockey, a little golf, a little baseball.
Yeah.
You can mix it all up.
The rivalry weekend in baseball with the
A lot of
the
crosstown,
natural rivals.
interstate. Yeah. Yankees, Mets at the top of that list. Dodgers, Angels. The Angels aren't really holding up their end of the deal.
Yeah.
But it's not every day the Mets sign a free agent away from the Yankees, and then they get together again. Let the booze cascade.
Yeah, he's going to have to face that, but he knew that going in.
He's got millions that ought to cushion the blow.
Oh, yeah. The Swan Soto literally has more money than he can ever spend, unless he was the most irresponsible spender of money in the history of irresponsibility of spenders of money.
$765 million. It's a nice check.
Yeah, amazing.
It's going to be 50,000 against 1. They're going to try to get on me. You know, it's part of it. Whatever they do, they have a right to do it. Man, it's not even didn't care about the other. I don't know what it'll be. 30 people in the dugout by the time you got all the players and the.
Yeah, but he's in
coaches.
right field though.
So he's out by himself out there.
Yeah.
And when you're in the batter's box, you tend to feel alone. Nobody can help you then.
That's the great equalizer. Once you step in that batter's box, it doesn't matter what your daddy did. It doesn't matter anything. It's a team game to an extent, but it's one-on-one, and no one can do
No one
anything.
can really help the pitcher, and I mean you can play defense behind him, but no one can really help the batter in that moment.
I remember I was coaching youth at young age, and the dad comes up to me, why do you have my son so low in the batting order? I said, his left foot. The kid was deathly afraid of the ball. He was bailing in the box as soon as the pitcher would start his warm-up. I said, he's afraid of the ball. Look at his left foot. He wants no part of it. This game isn't made for everybody.
What'd the dad say?
Well, how can we fix it? Take him out there and chuck it to him 100,000 times. I mean, how can you get better at anything? Over and over. In order for that kid to hit, his number one issue is overcoming a fear of the ball.
Till you get past that, everything else.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
You got to start with the foundation.
Yeah.
And the first thing you got to be able to do is dig in.
It sounded cold, but don't you want truth?
There it
I didn't
is.
say your kid sucks. Why in the world is he out here? You're wasting my time. I didn't say that.
That would be worse. You give him something constructive. It's like, this is the problem. You fix that problem. And
Then
then you
we'll
can move
see
on.
where we can
next
go.
Next thing will be, well, look at his hands. Where are his hands?
Yeah, but
Right.
when you do that, that's a sign of being afraid of the ball. And that was the great thing. Once you step in that box, it shows exactly where you're at. That's why it's such an awesome sport.
Did you see the story about the 49ers selling minority share of the team?
6%, was it?
Yeah. And the quote, it's a family asset allocation decision.
Wow.
He got some money there. Based on the wants and needs of various family members. I want some money. It's tied up in the team. Oh, I don't care about that. Just sell 1% of the team and give me the cash.
So it's money, but it's not liquidated money.
Family asset allocation decision.
That's a mouthful. I've never had
So
that.
what do you get? I always wonder what these own, and I suppose it depends on the team and whoever the majority, owns the majority of the franchise. Like, what do you get for that? I mean, you get to sit there and make decisions. You get to sit in the draft room. Yeah, you're not going to get to make decisions, right? But you get to sit in the draft room.
I would
you get
say
to
in
go
a
to practice.
box during games.
Okay, why don't you just buy a box? What do you need to buy the team for? Now,
Because
I guess
it's
if the team
to have an ownership.
it's cool to
of the
say your
team.
ownership.
And you buy the box, your money doesn't go up. You buy the team, your money goes
you're
up.
Right. You do that. 2% is growing as these teams get to be worth more and more.
Yeah, I was told that Hatback went to Sarver, wanted like $100 million in.
And what do I get?
And he said good seats. Yeah.
A little more than that.
Right. I mean, it's for the folks buying in, I assume it's an investment. And it would be cool to say you own a piece of the Niners.
Yep. And apparently this is going on with other clubs. The Chargers are looking to sell an 8%. They're worth so much money now.
Right.
They can pull some money out, get some of the cash, and go on.
And it costs so much money. Can one individual really buy it?
Seems like that's a big ask.
Right.
And it seems like nobody wants that kind of – I think the pandemic did this. It's like everybody wants to be diversified. Right, I mean, we just heard with the sale of Real Salt Lake.
Yeah,
right. And somebody owns 70%. Well, yeah, but in the case of the previous ownership, that 70% was split among people.
Right.
So, and then you spread your money out across 8 teams, 8 leagues, 8 different countries, and park your millions in different clubs.
So far out of my league.
That strategy most of us don't have to think about, right?
Right.
All right, DJ and PK, when we come back, your feedback. A lot of people weighing in. Egor Demon, should the Jazz draft him? He's not really slotted to go 5th. Maybe that'll change. He's not really slotted to go 21st. They probably have to make a move. Should they do it? We'll get to that next. Stay with us.
And it's all over almost here.
Don't go nowhere.
Don't miss your chance to win big every week on The Zone. This week on Win Ticket Wednesday, you could win tickets to Judas Priest and Alice Cooper live at Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater on October 12th. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. Listen to The Zone all day Wednesday for your chance to win.
Judas Priest? You got another thing coming.
Question of the morning. Do you want the Utah Jazz to make a move to go get Egor Demon? Scott, no. I love Egor, and I don't want him on the Jazz. The reality is any player coming out of Provo will face overwhelming criticism from half the Jazz fan base, no matter what happens. I want him to go somewhere else and develop.
Oh.
Average homeboy. Nobody cares about that half of the fan base anyway. The rivalry in all things, including the NBA draft.
I love the Cougars and their fans. Come on. They're decent people.
Zach, at 5, absolutely not. If he's available at 21, and he won't be, then sure.
Yeah, no one's saying 5. That would surprise me.
The question is make a move up there, that second half of the lottery, and see if you can get him there.
Yeah. It's interesting in that these picks that they've had the last 2 years, nothing has changed. They were slotted to draft this position. They drafted that position.
Trader Danny not living up to the rep. Where's the move?
That
Where's
does
the deal?
surprise me. That there was nothing.
Maybe this year's the year.
Right.
It's got to happen at some point, right?
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, I totally agree. That was the premise of the question. And we're getting reports that he's doing well, and they've been not stagnant, but they've just kept what they've had.
Mm-hmm. But are we looking in the right place?
In what way?
I mean, I get your logic. Okay, let's move from 21 to 12 or whatever. What about moving 5 to 3 or 2?
They're not taking a Jaeger with 2 or 3 pick.
I know. That's why we're looking in the wrong place. They'll be looking over here at a couple kids at Rutgers.
Even better.
I wonder what the odds are of that.
I would think slim.
I think 2 is very slim. I think if anything happens there, then let's see if there's a Giannis deal. That's where the 2 pick is headed, if it's moving.
Yeah, you'd have to really, really love him almost to the point of Cooper Flag-like. Because my thought would be you'd have to give up a lot. Not obviously the 5 pick, but 2 or 3 other things too.
They're coming for Kessler.
Yeah, I'd be hesitant on that one.
Yep, I hear you. You've invested a lot of time developing a young guy. How about you enjoy Enjoy some of that now.
Yeah.
Now that he's at the point where he's good enough, I mean, they can say whatever they say. Actions speak louder than words, and they sat him because they were afraid he was good enough to help win games.
Well,
So they
last
clearly
year,
think he's making progress.
Danny Ray sort of blasted him at the exit meeting, but Danny Ray didn't show up at the exit meeting this year.
We have not heard from him yet.
No. I may go over to his house.
That should help. That should make a difference. Danny! Danny!
Right.
Someone else answers the door. Can Danny come out and play?
I got a question for Danny Ray. Maybe I'll go over to Riverside when the weather gets better and just sit
Now
there
you're talking.
Just sit there all day.
Just
Got to show up at some
Just
point.
sit there at the first tee.
Yeah, you got to show up at some point.
Coming into the grill at some point. You guys going to get hungry.
I was invited to play there.
Yeah?
I played there a few times. And I got there way early. And I thought, well, I'll just stay off to the side over by the gym and, just kind of be...
Do what you do. Try to stay low profile.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Your public persona and your private persona are so different. You confuse so many people.
And so I'm standing way over to the side there. Guy comes on. PK, if you want to come over, you can hit some ball. And he announces it on the speaker.
On the line, not yelling at you from the deck.
No, the speaker. Like Nick, first.
PK, if you'd like to come hit some golf balls.
I know.
That's awesome.
Kind of blew my undercover.
You try that. You always do that. You're like, oh, so-and-so doesn't know me. I'm like, yeah, they do. The worst one, you're worse for all your gut instincts and all Spence Eccles doesn't know who I am.
He doesn't.
He does too. He absolutely does.
I don't.
Spence is way into sports. He knows so many media people. He knows so many, and he absolutely knows you.
Yeah, that big
You think
mouth.
you wrote about Utah basketball for a decade and he didn't know who you were?
He doesn't know
That
me.
didn't even have to do with you being on TV.
No, he don't know me.
You are so wrong. You've never been more wrong. And you've been wrong.
Oh, I've been wrong. I'll be wrong again.
Man, people are so down. Not that Hunter. Oh, why not draft Agor? They're going to suck regardless. Might as well go full-fledged homer. BYU will just be the new Jazz G League team. People are just so down right now. It is going to turn around. I don't know how quickly, but it's going to turn around. And admittedly, this sucks. But that's why Ryan Smith's tweeting out, had to go out for a run, and I literally yelled.
You think he swore?
I don't know. Let's find out. Why don't you go over to his house, knock on the door, and ask him?
Oh, I can't get past the guards. He got bigger money.
He's actually one of the most available people in the whole organization. It is hard to speak to some people, but not him. He'll be out there.
How many?
And I think we have Larry H. Miller to thank for that. That's the role model. He saw how it works. He thinks that's what an owner's supposed to do, and he does it.
Yeah. Well, just speak to the people. You own the team, man.
Exactly.
How many BYU players have played for the Jazz?
Not very many.
I mean, I know Andy Toulson did.
Was Arujo here for a minute?
Yeah,
I think he might have
for a
been,
minute.
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah,
Hoffa
but
played.
I mean, seriously, I don't think he played 50
No,
games.
it was not
I don't
that
even know if
long,
he played
yeah.
10. It was very quick.
Has there been anybody else?
And Toulson, going back, I don't know. Of those early
that
80
it?
teams.
2 guys?
I mean, there haven't been that many NBA guys, so.
Understood.
Jimmer, no. Sean Bradley, no.
I was thinking way back, like before.
Yeah.
Height.
Yak, you're our historian. Yak.
I'm currently looking, but yeah,
Okay.
the two I know of are Hoffa and Andy.
Yeah, that might be it. How many Utes have played for the Jazz? Obviously, Pace
Oh, yeah,
did.
Pace. Tom Chambers did.
Yep, you're right.
I don't know, before. I mean, back in the 80s when they were drafting a lot, maybe somebody made it.
Maybe it's 2-2. Maybe it's tied.
Oh, 2-2, depending on who's keeping the records. They have that big debate on football.
Yeah.
Get Yegor and DeBonsa.
Robbie says, if they draft Demon, I'd buy tickets to go watch him play. Otherwise, I'll probably not go to a single game.
Okay. Well, we got one fan.
There it is. Do it.
Make the financial investment.
Nolan. No, don't draft him. I live in San Antonio, and I'm hoping he goes to the Spurs.
Oh. The Spurs.
Dallas. Don't ask dumb questions. Yes. Draft Demon.
We have one more entry in to the BYU guys who played for the Jazz.
Devin Durant?
Nope. Fred Roberts.
Fred Roberts.
Okay.
So,
he
Doug,
was one of the 80s guys.
thanks for the assist on that when you texted that.
All right. So that's 3. Now, can you find any more Utes, or is it a 2?
I was looking for BYU as well as Utah right
Did
now.
Jeff Judkins come through for a minute?
Yeah. Did he?
That would be 3. I just thought of that. I think he did. But again, a guy who played in the 70s and would have been here in the 80s before we got here.
Yeah.
But I think he did briefly. I think he briefly came through, but I'm not positive.
Juddy did play for the Jazz.
Bang, there
Cool.
it is. It's 3-3.
All right.
All right. There's probably somebody else out there we don't know.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Somebody in the 70s or 80s.
Right. Maybe even the 60s.
No.
You just weren't good in the 60s? I thought they were in the Final Four.
Well, the Jazz didn't get here till the late 70s. They went to 2 Final Fours in the 60s.
Oh, then that's a problem.
Yeah. I just don't think those guys played long enough to get to the
Okay,
Utah
how about the
Jazz.
Stars?
That could happen. Ron Boone went to Idaho State. Do we get to count that?
No.
Nope. Nope.
It's not Utah.
Oh, it's northern Utah, southern Idaho.
It kind of is.
Blurry.
I understand that.
Blurry.
It's close enough. I get it.
Yeah, I can't be bothered to look that up. He's moved on.
I'm still researching.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd be able to find that. I suppose you could. You might have
Yeah.
to go through every single person on the team. They had to have had some players, you would think.
Probably somebody out there. Something to work on this weekend.
Yeah.
Maybe Jake and Ben will have it for you next. They're coming up right here on The Zone.